Hello and good morning. Hello and good morning and welcome. How y'all doing, man? How's everybody doing? How was the weekend? Y'all all right? Ah, shit. Here we go again. Ah, shit. Here we go again. I had a good weekend, man. Pretty chill weekend, actually. Weekend with no kids, which I told you guys about. It was fan-freaking-tastic. The only thing that kind of sucked this weekend for me was the sports. The sports was a little bit weird. Even though the UFC card was really good, obviously the way that it went down with Tom and Surreal was sucky, and so that was terrible. And then, of course, the Steelers let me down big fucking time yesterday, man. I had an incredible weekend. I had like one for the books, like genuinely an incredible weekend. And the Steelers couldn't top it off. They couldn't just let me have like the best one ever. Had to give me a little on the way out, you know? Why did you mess with the camera? What makes you think I mess with the camera, Adam? Why do you think I mess with the camera? I'll fucking tell you why. I'll tell you all about it. Are you ready for story time? Why'd you mess with the camera? Hey, why'd you mess with the camera? I like the other way you look. Now you look different. And you know what's funny too? I told Elisa because I was it's way brighter. Jesus Christ. Should I turn it down a little? Is it too bright for you guys? I can't believe we're going to do this. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start messing around here. Let's see what we can do here. That looks much better. Okay, are you guys happy now? Is this better? Is this a lot better? This is what you wanted? Joey Ebb says, go pack. Oh, dude, somebody ban Joey. Get him out of here. Drewski with a 5-spot says, made my first at Warhammer purchase, Raven Guard Combat Patrol and Horus Rising book. This is where the fun begins. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Horus Rising is a legendary book. It's the first in the Horus Heresy series. Also, can we not do this? Can I go back to regular now? Have I made the point? Can we just, are we good here? Or do I actually need to drop it a little? I'll drop it a little. See, I can't even drop it. I think this is fine. Guys. You know, the frame rate's a little, look, I'll tell you what happened. But first of all, let's talk about Drewski. You've made a good choice. That book has a lot to do with actually the very end of the Horus Heresy series, the end of the death, and some crazy stuff that happens at the end of that. So you're in for a treat, man. And also Raven Guard, they're getting a glow up right now. Their models are absolutely incredible. I'm actually super jealous because Dark Angels, although they have some cool models, a lot of their refreshes happen very early in this edition. And therefore, I don't think they're as good as some of the new stuff. Like the White Scars and the Raven Guard new stuff is absolutely incredible. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Was able to meet Theory, Elizabeth Olsen, Jeremy Renner, Brie Larson, Paul Bettany, and Ian McDermott on Saturday. I love being a nerd, says Zack Attack. Damn! That's cool, man. That is a lot. That's a lot of people. Who was your favorite to meet? You know, you can tell us. Darker, please. You don't look 4K anymore. All right. So, the camera did get messed up. Unironically, yes, because the more you raise it, the frame... Wait, what? What are you talking about, dude? What the hell are you talking about? How is the frame rate? Okay, so I'll explain to you guys what happened. And also, like, I shouldn't have darkened it. I think it looked better before. Look, I want 360 deep fried jowsh. Didn't we just do that? I think I just did that. It's perfect here. It's fine. It's fine. Not gonna lie, it's bad. Well, some of it, I mean, for some of you guys, it might be bad. I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, I don't even know how all of this works. But basically, the way I was using the camera got messed up. Look, I'm not gonna say it was an accident. May or may not have been Elisa. You know, but it was an accident, and we're not getting mad about it. But did my new thousands and thousands of dollars 4K camera get messed up by my wife? It maybe, yeah. But you know, it's one of those situations where you kind of can't get too mad about it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? You really gonna freak out? You really gonna just rage out on your wife? Because then you have an unhappy wife, and you messed up your camera. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we pick our battles here. I'm gonna try to fix the camera. We'll see how it goes today. I can make some adjustments. Look, the honest to God truth is, nobody's more upset about this than me. I fucking raged yesterday. This is like my least favorite thing to deal with. I had the camera finally dialed in. I'm very fucking mad about it. Okay. But at the same time, I'll take it out on you guys, not her. And we'll fix it. We'll figure it out. You know, we'll tweak it. I think I should be able to get this to work fine. I don't know that it's working fine right now. I can dial it in a little bit more. Fucking hate it though. Really fucking hate it. Like I really fucking hate it. Just so you know. I was reading the Cable series when he was protecting Hope from Bishop, and it was awesome. I hope they do a show like that for the reboot. Yeah, something like that would be really cool, actually. Give me 1 second here, guys. This is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, no, I'm fucking furious about it. But we're not gonna dwell on it. You know what I mean? We're not gonna dwell on it, chat. But I'm fucking furious. Yeah. Anyway. Did you enjoy Chainsaw Man? It looked like it was fire. Pissed there was zero power. That sucked. Oh, I loved it, dude. We'll talk about that in a second here. Yeah, the Chainsaw Man movie was awesome. It's also #1 in the box office, which is pretty fucking crazy. Hollywood getting beat by anime again, which is kind of wild. We'll talk all about that in just a minute here. Renner was the best. McDermott was the worst. Oh, what? You got to elaborate on that. You can't just say that. Elaborate. What do you mean? Jeremy, like, spark up a spliff and pass it to you? And McDermott was like, nah, for me, not for you. Also, always got to skip the first couple of minutes. I don't know what that means. A little glitchy? Yeah, it's probably a little glitchy. Look, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Maybe we could, I think we could probably do clips today, and I think it's going to be fine. If not, we'll figure it out. I have all kinds of other cameras. We can go back to like shitty cameras. Maybe what I'll have to do, honestly, I thought about this. I kind of don't want to do this because it's really fucking annoying. But I have to like send this into Sony if we're going to fix it. Because like she really fucked it up. So if I send it into Sony, it'll cost a couple $100, maybe as much as $5 or whatever, and they'll fix the one port. But it's gonna take weeks and weeks and weeks. You know what I mean? And I'd have to go back to the other camera. I guess I could do that. It's ultimately not the worst thing in the world. But the thing is, so I'm ADHD, so I get really hung up on it. So, like, I'll notice it, and it'll really fucking bug me. You know what I mean? Like, it'll really fucking bug me. So, yeah, we'll see. Surely a local shop could fix one port. Yeah, they could, and then it would void the... Yeah, Sony doesn't want you to do that. Sony wants you to go through Sony shit. I mean, maybe I'm open to doing whatever, but Sony wants you to go through Sony shit. Sony gonna Sony. Ultimately, it's your fault, Josh. You're 100% right. I take full responsibility. Did you try sticking it in nice? I tried all sorts of positions. I tried all sorts of lubricants. I tried all the ports. I turned it around. I flipped it up. Yeah, I did everything you could. I did everything I could. Are you ready to convince Theory on the KK situation? Well, I'll tell what I know, and I'm not going to convince him of anything. He's going to make up his own mind. I'm actually pretty curious. I bet we're all curious what Theory's reaction to that would be. Part of the fun of it for me. Part of the fun of it. Never dry dock your camera. Oh, Jesus. Did you take it out and blow it? Absolutely. When you can't read and it changes the whole message. I don't know what you're talking about because I can't read. Josh, this feels like when you would complain about color grading in the teaser trailers. Much love. This feels like when you would complain about color grading in the teaser trailers. Much love. What feels like that? I don't understand. What the fuck? So nerd theory tonight? I don't know. Look, I'm going to tell you guys. You guys are not going to like. You're not going to like hearing this. But I messaged Theory this morning and said we shouldn't do the show, because he just had a crazy ass fucking weekend. He should rest. He should chill. He should fucking chill. Get back in home or wherever. I don't know if he's still traveling or whatever. Sometimes he'll stay a couple extra days, so I don't know. But I texted him this morning and said we could do it tomorrow. We could just do it next week. And I know you guys are like, oh no, he needs to do it fucking tonight. But he really doesn't. You know what I mean? He really doesn't. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. How about Sam Raimi saying him and Toby have been talking about a fourth Spider-Man movie? I don't know if he said that. I mean, I remember comments from a couple of years ago where he said that. I haven't heard anything new. Now, the writer, the guy that wrote the Batman, I think his name is Mike Tomlin. He's been talking about it. I saw some stuff pop up because he made some comments about it, and then it got carried into some other places and whatnot. Yeah. Who does Theory want to replace Kathleen Kennedy? Why don't you ask him? What if he wants to do it? If he wants to roll, we'll roll, baby. You know what I mean? If he wants to roll, we'll roll. I'm good either way. But that's my friend. And I think he should probably just rest. Renner was super chill. McDermott didn't want to be there. Billy D was there too. And heard he was 100 times worse than McDermott. So like McDermott's just grumpy. Like he's just fucking grumpy. Like he's in there like just like not happy to be there. Oh, that kind of sucks. Says Renner's chill. Okay. Yo, I shouldn't even ask you guys this because Chad is so unreliable. But is the frame rate, like, can we do this stream? Should I end the stream and go tinker with this and try to figure this out? Or, like, are we good to go? I think it could be a downsampling problem. There's, like, a number of different things that it could be. Look, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Let's do a poll. I'll deadass, dude, guys, I'll end the stream and I'll see y'all Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine with me. Let me just see, though. Let's see how bad it is. It's not laggy. It's not laggy, but the frame rate, right? I'll say it like this. Should we keep streaming, or I guess I'll just say should we keep streaming, and then you guys let me know. Because like, dude, I hate it, and I'll spend the whole day like just trying to fix it and figure it out. That's fine. Good moaning, Josh. What the fuck? Good moaning to you too, I guess. Good morning to you too, I guess. Yo, real quick too. What did you guys? I know we got some fight fans in here. What did you guys think of the stoppage and everything with Tom? Are you like Team Tom? Because I thought it was pretty crazy how so many people said he should just keep fighting. Like, that is crazy to me. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, we'll keep going then. It looks like everybody's good to keep going here. All right, let's give it a shot. I'll try to fix it before Wednesday's stream. Oh, by the way, guys, maybe we'll do this at the end of the stream. It looks so fucking bad on my screen. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind today, dude. I can already tell. Shout out to Facebook for sending me out the VR. That's cool. So, maybe we should try to. Is that Daredevil? Is the Deadpool game out? The VR Deadpool? I don't know. They said it would just come loaded on it, but I don't know if that's actually true. I haven't really looked at what they sent me. Brady says, please send some love my way. At the hospital with my girlfriend having emergency surgery. Everything should be okay. Thank you for years of love. Oh, Brady, we'll send some fucking vibes her way, brother. Some healing vibes, some Genshi. Sorry to hear that, but it sounds like it's going to be okay, but always scary. Emergency surgery is always scary, so I bet you'll be all right. She'll be all right, man. Send some love Brady's way, man. Andre says, I'd watch you underwater on a Nokia phone with a cracked screen. Keep fucking stream going. Much love, Unite. Okay, appreciate it, man. Thank you. When's the Deadpool VR out? I guess I could check. I thought it was like December. Could be out. November 18th. Okay, so we got a while. Okay, so that's interesting. So they just sent it out maybe a little earlier or whatever. I wonder if it has... I'll hit the people up. I'll hit the people up and see what's going on. Maybe I'm not even supposed to play it until a certain date. Can you imagine? I just like open it and start playing and they're like, you fucked it up. Anyway, I was thinking about how to set that up. It seems like the game's going to drop next month, but it would be kind of cool to try to stream Deadpool VR. I really like the game, man. I think it's really cool. And I kind of want to show you guys, and it'll be like a really fun, it'll be a really fun stream. Cause like, I'll try to do all this like crazy stuff and we'll see if I can pull it off. And I'll probably look silly as hell. Cause I'll be like in the VR thing, like just, you know, moving around and all that. So it should be a fun one. All right. Well, I actually have to get this over here. Okay. Yeah, we'll just leave that there. All right. Well, let's get into the topics, man. Let's try to have a stream here. I will tweak the camera. I will get it sorted out. I'll buy another fucking 1,000, 2,000. I'll buy. I don't give a fuck. I honestly, I have a personality, and I don't know. Maybe you guys already know this, but like, I want what I want, and I will spend. I will figure it out. I want what I want, and what I want is for the stream to run smoothly. Which, by the way, we actually haven't even fucking had the whole fucking time. So, like, what am I even talking about here? But we're gonna fix it. We'll figure it out, or we won't, or we fucking won't. Okay. Anyway, let's get into some topics here, man. There's actually some really crazy shit going on in Hollywood, man. We got to talk about Paramount. We got to talk about James Gunn. We got to talk about DCU. That whole situation is nuts, man. Have you guys been watching that at all? Have you been watching that go down? Because holy shit, it's crazy. And then there's a new development as Tyler Sheridan leaves Skydance, kind of in the middle of this big negotiation, buyout, whatever you want to call it. A huge part of the whole package for Paramount Plus, the guy that was making all these crazy shows, is getting out of there. So just signed a big deal with Universal, or is about to sign a big deal with Universal. So we'll get into that. I want to talk about how I actually think, as crazy as it seems, and I was talking to some people on the Discord about this last night. I wonder what you guys think of this. I actually think that Gunn will get fired now. Maybe not. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but I wonder what. I'll put this up on a poll actually, because I'm super interested. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think, and I'll say it like this. Do you think if Paramount buys WB, they fire Gunn? I would like to know what you all think of that. Because when it was first announced, I was like, they're not going to fire him. Like, they're not going to fire Gunn. And I think there's still a lot of maybe reasons to believe that. There's still probably... That's still... I don't know. I don't know. Things are so weird. Wait till you hear some of the stuff that people are saying about, like, what Paramount wants. And I think maybe two things are happening at the same time, which are really unfortunate for Gunn. And that is that Superman and Peacemaker are starting to... I mean, it really does look like they're kind of underperforming. Pretty clear to me, at least. And this is happening right at the worst possible time, as this sale is being figured out. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. It's pretty crazy. We will find out after Man of Tomorrow. You think they're going to make Man of Tomorrow? Guys, this deal could be done by the end of the year. You really think they're going to make Man of Tomorrow? If they're not planning on keeping James, they're not going to make Man of Tomorrow, guys. Like 0% chance. Y'all really think they're going to make Man of Tomorrow? Okay, maybe we should just get into this, because I really do think people are going to be fucking shocked at what's about to happen. Because, and even I was a little shocked when I read into this and I read some of the reporting. I was like, oh shit. Okay. So let's see if this crashes the stream or makes it really bad. I'm hoping I can at least record clips out of here. So let's test this out. Is it better? Is it worse? It looks so much worse. What is this, a PS2? We're on a PlayStation 2? What the fuck? Fuck it. No clips. I'll clip them out later out of the stream. Fuck it. Okay. Zach says 20 months of nerd venting. I appreciate you, Josh. Best community ever. I'll watch this after work. Okay, appreciate you. It's fine. You guys are wild. Okay. So. All right, what am I doing? Okay. Let's get into this. Let's talk about how I think Paramount might actually fire James Gunn when it happens, which is kind of a shocking thing to admit. I did not always feel this way. Superman, to me, you know, what I always thought of the Superman performance was good enough, right? You guys have heard me talk about this before. I love the movie, by the way. It's such a weird thing because everybody's always like, oh, you're so anti-gun, you're so anti-this, that, second, other. I love Superman. I thought it was a brilliant movie. And by the way, some of what we're going to talk about here is like, I don't even know that I, as a fan, will like what Paramount does if they do what I think they're going to do. But I think there's actually some evidence that they might clean house and start over. So right now, just to sort of TLDR you and explain like where things are at, I think it's 3 different bids from Warner Brothers that have been rejected by Paramount. There is somewhat of a bidding war going on, although how much of that is actually real is kind of hard to keep track of. The thing that's crazy about this story right here is it has such efficacy that people all over are incentivized to cover this in different ways to try to push different narratives. So, like, for instance, it really behooves Zaslav to make it feel like there's this big bidding war for Warner Brothers. Right? That makes sense, because then if there's competition, if that's the narrative out there, that's the word on the street. And then, I mean, one of the best things you can do to create a bidding war is literally say, hey, this company's interested. They made a higher offer, right? And that's kind of like how you get it all going. So right now, there are some reportings, like, so I read a report I think there was a report in The Guardian, and then it wasn't the Wall Street Journal, but it was another like financial mag. And they were basically saying that there's this big bidding war, that like Apple might be involved, Paramount, Netflix, all of these different things. Then there was some reporting that suggested that some of those bidders were actually not that interested. Like Netflix in particular was only interested in like certain things and not really willing to make a full scale, like we're going to buy Warner Brothers proper kind of a thing. Which, by the way, Zaslav is open to a partial sale. He said that. So that's part of why I think he even met with Netflix and had that whole situation happen. Okay, so that is what is currently going on. And again, when it came to Superman, I always thought that the box office on Superman was good enough. You know, we live in a time where the box office in general has been diminished. Comic book stuff in general seems diminished. So Superman's take always felt soft, but with a lot of context and a lot of asterisks, good enough. This is not a smash hit. I know some of you guys believe it is, still believe to this day that somehow that this is a smash hit movie. Absolutely not. Not even close. And in fact, a little bit of an issue for Gunn in the Nielsen numbers recently. So let's talk about this. So there's a couple of things that are going on that I think are actually making it more viable than ever that James Gunn could get fired. So, number one, the Superman Nielsen numbers that just came out. So there's all kinds of asterisks here, and I could pull up like various articles, some of them painting it in a really positive light, some of them painting it in a negative light. But essentially what happened, guys, was Superman went to HBO Max, and in the first week of Nielsen's calculations for its top 10, Superman only had been in there for 3 days. Okay? And so that's kind of sus. Like, we don't know what to make of that. It's only 3 days. It's on a week thing, you know, whatever. So then you go into week 2, and it got up to, I believe it was the acquired, and in movies, it was number 2. Okay, so in movies overall, it jumps to number 2, which seems really good. But I was shocked to find out that it didn't even hit number 10 on the overall charts. And these numbers are not great. I think it's like 600, maybe close to 700 million minutes watched. So that's not even great. So look, at the end of the day, it kind of depends on how you want to frame it. It's actually a lot like the box office. Because these numbers are technically a little bit better than Marvel's movies this year, which Nielsen also tracked, you could make the argument that DC or that Superman is the best performing comic book movie on Nielsen in its first 10 days in the year of our Lord 2025. You know? But I think you could also argue that it's kind of underwhelming and that this cultural impact, this massive cultural impact that DC claims that it made with Superman is, I think, showing itself to actually not be as significant as reported. Okay? But that's not all. Because Peacemaker also has failed to chart. And I believe this was week either 6 or 7. This was the week with the massive fucking reveal. This was the Lex Luthor week, I believe. Okay? And we're going to talk a little bit more about genre content in Hollywood in general, because Alien Earth, Gen V, and Peacemaker all miss Nielsen's top 10 charts this week. Crazy. Okay? But most importantly for this conversation is Peacemaker. So with Peacemaker really floundering, with the Superman numbers coming out and actually being softer than expected even on HBO Max, because like HBO came out and said that Superman was the biggest movie ever to release on the platform, bigger than Barbie. And it's like, it's just kind of hard to imagine that's actually real given what Nielsen is reporting. Unless Barbie underwhelmed. I mean, what is going on this platform? Is HBO Max just like a dead platform? I don't know. But either way you slice it, that shit doesn't look good, bro. And here's the other thing about Gunn. I think Gunn is a somewhat divisive figure. And I also think Gunn, and this one's kind of weird because it's actually a mismatch of branding, because I think Gunn isn't the buttoned-up Disney guy. I actually think Gunn is a little bit more conservative than people think, and I think Gunn is like rational. I think he would play ball. I think Gunn is like I'm actually not saying anything that I'm saying right now out of malice or out of like, oh, I want him to fail or anything like that. I'm just reading the terrain. I actually think he's done pretty well, but I believe the perception of him is that he's a Hollywood guy, and I believe the perception of him is he's a coastal elite guy, and I think that actually hurts Superman. I think that's a big part of what hurts Superman. I think I've been talking about this. We'll discuss it more, but I think there is a stink. There is a Hollywood stink that is actually affecting a lot of shit right now. Where if you feel a little too Hollywood, I think there's a huge portion of the country, which, by the way, is so crazy. I actually read some reporting of some internal documents. I believe this was in one of the Puck articles that Bellany put out, where there was a lady coming into Warner Brothers right now that's like trying to get all the employees to like answer a questionnaire about what they're actually doing and what do they think the job is and stuff like that. And within this whole thing, I guess it was like a memo or something. It was talking about how they want to target the 70% of the audience that they feel is middle right and middle left. And that's like very specific language that's happening internal right now. I believe at Paramount. And so does that make sense? What I'm saying to you is that I actually think, even though this part is unfair to Gunn, that Gunn has been somewhat cast as a pro-Hollywood, pro-liberal guy. Do you think that's crazy? Do you think I'm way off base there? Part of why is because of the Fox News coverage around his movie. And I think a lot of what you would maybe consider alternate media right-wing voices have actually been pretty anti-James Gunn. So I don't know. I don't know if you agree with that. Maybe other people don't agree with that. But I actually think it's a little unfair to Gunn. But I do think he's been sort of thought of as that way. Okay, so that's what I think is going on with Gunn. But now let's talk about fucking Paramount, dude, because this shit is crazy. Dude, let me pull this up for you. This shit is wild. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, look at this. The Ellisons will move fast and spend big to conquer and remake Hollywood. Many were rooting for the family to seize Paramount Global, but have trepidation and regret. Delayed deal approval gave him time to start planning the Warner Discovery pursuit. Theatrical might stay close, but CBS News and CNN will combine. Okay. So this is a Wall Street Journal article. I read this. I've been reading a lot of reporting about this just because I want to figure out what people are saying. What do the insiders think? And it is really split. I mean, you dead ass have people like Jeff Snyder that don't even believe Paramount will buy this thing. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are trying to figure it out. They're like, is this gamesmanship? Is there something else going on here? What is actually happening? But as we talked about last week, like Trump administration seems like they really want it to happen. Ellison's want it to happen, and they're very friendly. So I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to get their nut. And the more I thought about this, the more I was like, dude, the Ellisons don't want to just buy Warner Brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like, and really, I need you to focus. I need you to really think about this. They don't want to just buy a Hollywood studio. They want to be Walt Disney. They want the Ellison name to be on the level of like Disney, Carnegie, like just old. This is a move, and we should have kind of seen this coming because a lot of the reporting around it was that it's actually the dad that is trying to set up this for his son and the legacy for his son and this media conglomerate thing. But if you look at the moves they've been making, even the Paramount deal itself, and a lot of the development, the things they've been talking about, the acquisition of UFC, the $1.5 billion deal for South Park, and now this look at Warner Brothers proper. I don't think this is a person that wants to come in and make sure that Warner Brothers sticks around and that everybody remembers how great Warner Brothers is. I don't think he's doing this for the sake of Hollywood. I don't think they're doing this for the sake of the studios. I don't think they're doing this for anything other than the Ellisons. And I think what they're trying to do is reshape Hollywood itself. They want to remake it. And I got to be honest with you. It needs fucking remade. For real. Like, honest to God, And I know everybody's gonna have different opinions about this, but like, dude, as somebody that's been on the outside of this thing, like looking in for almost 10 years here on YouTube, you guys fucked it up. Like Hollywood proper, like y'all fucked it up. It literally, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, let this dude come in, let conservative-minded people come in and break this apart and rebuild it. Because the current way it's going is not going to work. I don't see a bright future for Hollywood as is. And that, I think, is where a lot of people don't agree with me, and probably why a lot of people are like trying to stop this. You know, WGA wants to stop it. Everybody's like, it's the worst thing in the world. Where I'm like, oh, no, you guys are actually already dead. Like, you're a corpse. You haven't figured it out yet. But animes beat you twice this year? That's ridiculous. You're fucking done. Sit down. So it does need remade. And then you think about that. Like, extend that thinking a bit. Extend that thinking a bit. And then consider everything we just talked about with the DCU. Do you see where my head is going with this? Do you see where my head is going with this? And I gotta say, again, I don't even think it's fair to Gunn. I don't even think it's fucking fair to Gunn. And I'm not even saying that I'll like who they pick or what they do next. And then some people in the Discord or whatever pushed back and said, well, can they really reboot again? Yeah, they can. They got beat by fucking anime this year. Of course they can reboot again. What people are not understanding, and I think it's a lot of DC fans that really enjoyed Superman and had a really good time and felt like maybe it was going to be back. Guys, the numbers just aren't there. Like, it's just not there. It isn't succeeding. Okay? So maybe it's fucking crazy to come out with the Marvel guy and set up a Marvel DC. As Marvel's floundering, the fatigue is crazy. I mean, maybe it's just that simple. You know what I mean? But the numbers aren't there. They're just not there. So with all of that in mind, dude, and I didn't think this a couple of weeks ago, but I really think he might be done. And in fact, consider all of what we just spoke to, and then think about the YouTube interviews that Gunn did. Which again, like, you know, I'm trying to be fair here. I don't want to go too hard on the guy, but that shit felt desperate, dude. That shit felt desperate. There was no announcements. There's nothing going on. Peacemaker was over. What the fuck are you even talking about? This motherfucker didn't even have anything to say. He never gave it a straight answer about anything with the interviews. He's literally just out there trying to be like, it's still a thing. It's still a thing. It still really matters. It's still a thing. It still really matters. I just don't know, man. This is all starting to feel like we might be going through some shit here, folks. This might be really fucking crazy. And by the way, too, right? Because a lot of you, and I would love to know, chat. I'm gonna put the chat on the screen. I'm gonna put the chat on the screen, guys. I know it might seem crazy to reboot again. Are there people out there that think that would be too much, that it would be over? What I would say to you is, consider what it felt like when Gunn took over. Didn't that also seem crazy? I don't think DC is succeeding enough to justify continuing this experiment. And I think there's a lot. I mean, I'll say this too, because, fuck. I think Gunn is going to really regret not going harder in the Superman movie. Meaning more spectacle, more villain, more craziness. I think at the end of the day, if he gets fired, he's probably going to end up regretting heavily that Superman didn't like go for it. So, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm telling you right now, I think we could be 3 months away from the DCU is over. And I'll tell you this. If I were Paramount, if Paramount gets this company, if Paramount buys DC, if they get Warner Brothers, oh, dude, this shit just started and only Gunn's projects have come out. Yeah, whose fault is that, by the way? Hey, James, first impressions are pretty important. Creature fucking Commandos? Yeah, stupid ideas. But that's it. Somebody should have reined him in. I don't even necessarily blame him, but it is a stupid idea. If I were Paramount, I'd be watching that Supergirl movie real close, dude. And I've tried to explain this before, and like, I know there's so much emotion out there. It's fandom. Everybody gets so butthurt about it, right? There are so many people out there trying to pretend that Supergirl is a good idea. Guys, please stop. I am on your side. I think Supergirl's going to be great. The Tom King run is seminal. Millie is incredible. Jason Momoa as Lobo is perfect casting. I am going to enjoy that shit. I am excited for it. But put your pundit hat on. It's no girls allowed. Disney just put an actual sex pest in Jared Leto. Literally 2 girl boss chicks right next to him. They literally did it again. And everybody's fucking over it. Everybody's so over it. There's a lot of voices that aren't going to tell you how over it they are. Deadass. I'm telling you because I speak to them. They're not going to tell you because you're going to misinterpret it and you're going to put them in the category of me and like be really mean about it. I'm telling you right now, there's a whole bunch of people out there silently going like this. I will not sit through that again. I'm not sitting through another girl boss thing. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, it's real. I'm telling you, it's real. Okay? So just hear me the fuck out, you fucking dummies. You can't do girl boss derivative Superman character when your Superman movie doesn't even have that much success. It's such a stupid fucking idea. It is a terrible idea. It is a terrible idea. And I, again, am excited for the movie. I'm going to enjoy the movie. But I can't sit here and act like this is a great fucking... And then what do we have after that? The fucking Lantern show, the terrestrial Lantern show, and then fucking Clayface. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. So again, I really think Supergirl's going to bomb, bro. I think Supergirl is going to fucking bomb. I don't want it to. I hope it's good. But wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. How much medicine are you taking? You need somebody that can see reality and let you know what's going on. Because this is getting crazy, dude. The disconnect between these people in Hollywood. Like, what's in the water? This is crazy. Sorry, I got a little heated there. The point is this. I think it's a high possibility Gunn is gone. And maybe it gets kicked around for a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, I think there's a good chance that he's gone. Especially if Supergirl bombs, which I think it will. So, anyways, guys, any thoughts, questions, comments on that, man? Like, I'm just telling y'all, like, this is going a real bad way. And fuck me, I guess, right? Because I've been very anti-gun and maybe I'm the worst messenger possible for this. But guys, there's a lot of people out there ignoring what is happening. Rossi, thank you for the rose. 80% chance as of now he's gone. Damn, 80, Adam? Damn. I'm probably like at a 60, which is fucking insane to me, to be honest. Like, I think 60 is fucking crazy. I think it should be 0%. Do you know what I mean? Sergeant Rock sounds promising, LMAO. Yeah, and then the other thing too, and like I think, I don't know, man. Great. We talked about this the other week. Maybe it was last week. Grace had one of those moments, one of those like viral moments where she kind of like processed something live and it was just kind of funny how it all happened. But so like basically, guys, there's a clip going around where Grace said that she had heard that a lot of the talent that came in on Phase 4 and 5 was actually recommended by James Gunn. And then if you think about it, if you look at what happened with Marvel in Phase 4 and 5, and when they go into this obscure direction, and they're doing all the obscure back of the comic book shop characters, that's all Gunn. And it's also what fucked Marvel up, right? There's a legitimate argument to be made that James Gunn actually destroyed the comic book genre. That James Gunn destroyed the comic book movie genre. And that's a totally different thing. Like, that's like, I'm not there yet, but I do think that narrative will start to gain traction. And show the clip? I showed the clip last week. You guys know the fucking clip? Come on. You know the fucking clip. If you don't, look it up. It's actually pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like if you were buying an organization, like if it's a sports thing, you're buying an organization, controversial coach, average season, good system, a lot of promise. I mean, I don't know. What do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation? I think he's not going anywhere. Superman had just enough success to not learn any lessons. Unfortunately, if his next shit is similar, then yeah, he gone. Right, but like, what if the Ellisons are like, yeah, we see where this is going, we're going to pull it early. You know what I mean? Because like, dude, I'll tell you this. I'd fucking cancel Batman 2, and I know that would cause a crazy uproar. If I'm Ellison, I'm like, hey, Matt, why don't you go interview a bunch of YouTubers, because you and Gunn are going to need a collab because you're fired. And then I'd go to James and I'd be like, you're fired. Everybody's fucking fired. Fuck you. And then I'd be like, let's get all of DC together. Let's build this shit properly. And you know who I'd get? Kevin fucking Feige. Kevin fucking Feige. Ellison, I would book a meeting with Kevin right now. And I'd be like, Kevin, look, let's be real. That Bob Iger news just came out. I know he's been fucking your shit up. So why don't you do your Secret Wars, set up X-Men, bail, get over here, build the DCU, build it properly, establish your legacy as the fucking GOAT, show that spiky white-haired motherfucker that you're the real Dawn of this game, and let's make DC great again. That's what I would say. That's my pitch to Kevin. And guess what? The Hat Man's fucking based. So the Hat Man might take it. No more Hat Man. But what if it wasn't the fucking Hat Man that made all the problems happen? Don't you understand what I'm saying here right now? Too much fanboy dreaming there. Yeah, probably, except for the fact that we know that Kevin took the meeting. Kevin took the meeting with Zaslav. So, like, we know. Kevin also took a meeting during the Ike Perlmutter thing with Warner Bros. So, hey, fanboy dreaming? Yeah, but Feige has talked about a DC universe. Feige's talked about Star Wars. I think Feige has ambitions outside of Marvel. Kevin lost his sauce when he gave it all to Brie Larson. I got to be honest with you. He does seem to have sort of a soft spot for these ladies. Josh, you are entitled to fanboy. Oh, thanks, buddy. Read my member chat. Okay, geez. Hang on, let's read this guy's $5. The communication log says, make a oh my God, I think I almost just burped up a lung. I don't know how that even happens, but I think I did. Make a reboot and use the 2000s kids Warner Brothers DC show to what? It will make money the kids 30 now. About to, you know what? I think I understand what he's saying, though. He's saying, like, just make it like the old school shit where everybody was falling in love with shit. Like when it was popping, like just make it like the DC animated universe. I think that's probably a good idea, chat. That's probably a good idea. All right, let's see here. Kaylin J. Oh, Sergeant Rock, yeah. WGA is blocking Paramount getting Warner Brothers because the Ellisons are conservative and they hate it. Yeah, exactly. But let's be real. How much power do they have? You know what I mean? Because they're probably going to try to lobby through state level stuff, right? I don't know that the WGA has the ability to actually block this deal. You know what I mean? I guess we'll see, but I don't think so. If they can gun right away and essentially putting DCU plans at no value for the deal, though, right? Unless they have other plans, ideas already. But here's the thing. The value is in the IP. The value is in the IP. Right? So it's actually not... You can end the DCU and Superman is still valuable. Batman is still valuable. Wonder Woman is still valuable. Green Lantern is still valuable. Does that make sense? Gunn's Superman Saga is all we need. Then let someone with a real Justice League-esque vision come in. Anyway, Nerd Vengeance for Life, much love. Yeah, I'm not going to be mad if he gets more. Because here's the thing I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it gets worse. Because I don't think Gunn's doing a great job, but I think he could get there. You know? Like, I think he needs reined in a bit. I really liked Superman. He's a nerd. The thing I like about Gunn is that he gets the most important part, which is the actual characters, the comic book shit. He has all kinds of stuff that he does that I don't like. But at the end of the day, that quality, like, let me just say this. I prefer Gunn Superman to Matt Reeves Batman. Because Matt Reeves Batman is just another postmodern take, another Hollywood, what if this was real version of comics. And I'm over it. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it to be real. I want Batman to fucking interact with the Source Wall via a White Lantern ring. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? About, like, what are the tires like on the fucking Tumbler? I don't give a fuck. So for me, I actually don't know if I even like what's happening. Because so you're going to get a guy in there that's like, I'm going to do a postmodern version. Like, you know, and I'm just like, fuck that. But I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. Cool124 says, to be honest, Hollywood has been because of one thing, wokeness. WGA is panicking because Ellison is conservative. Gunn will be Ellison assistant. Star Wars is dead too. Bob's News did irreversible damage. I think the Bob News did a lot of damage. Yeah. How's this? I don't know. It's hard to know for sure, but I do think that it did some damage. Yeah, I mean, Hollywood, sure, you know, the wokeness or whatever, I think that's a part of it. I think at the end of the day, though, more than just wokeness, because, like, I kind of reject this whole idea of, like, get woke, go broke. I know some of you guys, like, that's your thing, and you think I'm saying that. That's not what I'm saying, actually. I'm actually just saying that they're just super out of touch. Ironically, a lot of, like, the woke shit they did pissed off, like lefties. Because the truth is, like, Disney doesn't know dick about this. They don't have a moral high ground. So it feels so gross. You know what I mean? And I think Hollywood in general, it just feels more and more like out of touch, and it's easy to ignore, and it all just, you can put it all into a category of slop, of, like, you know, maybe somebody call it woke slop or whatever. I just think it's like slop. But how long is IP still viable? How much damage can it sustain? Can you say the same for Star Wars? When can it not come back? Oh, no, I think IP is the future. I think IP is very, very valuable. The difference is it might not be in movies, though. I don't know that it's going to be in movies. But, like, okay, so as things get into a digital age, right, with AR, VR, things of that nature, IP assets are going to be, like, incredibly valuable. Maybe as a fashion statement, maybe as sort of social signaling. You know what I mean? You know, Marvel Rivals is kind of an interesting example of looking at Marvel itself and recognizing that the IP is still doing very well, while the theatrical experience in the cinematic universe is on a decline. The video game usage of the IP is actually doing very well. So Marvel has Rivals, Marvel has Cosmic Invasion, which is coming out, looks incredible. The Tokon game, which is made by the Z Fighters guys, Arc, whatever. Incredible games. And then they have the Wolverine game, the Spider-Man games, and all that, right? So IP is the future. It is probably the case, though, that IP is going to be taken out of gatekeeping hands. I made this point about a year ago where I said, you know, I think Disney's biggest problem is the fact that their experiences, the consumer's experience when they interact with the IP, when they engage with the IP, is usually in a curated way. Meaning it's a show, it's a movie, it's the park, it's this, that, second, and the third. And all of that is gate kept by that company. But things like Fortnite, things like Battlefront and all the mods, things like VR chat, things like, you know, maybe even get into like a Ready Player One situation. We know that Disney has a big deal with Epic and they're doing some kind of a thing that's like a digital version of all of that. I think the IP there works better because there's no gatekeepers. The user or the consumer gets to curate how they interact with the IP. As an example, let's say you love Luke Skywalker and thought he should be a badass with the green lightsaber just kicking ass. Well, if you go to watch a Star Wars movie, or you go to watch a Star Wars show other than Mandalorian Season 2, and I guess Book of Boba Fett a little bit, you're not going to get that. You're just literally not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You'll get it in Empire, or a little bit in Empire, but you get it in Return of the Jedi, and then you get it in a few comics, you get it in some novels. But if you go to watch a Disney-created show or movie, it's not there. Mostly. So, in the future, though, like, let's just say you want that. You want that experience, the Luke Skywalker experience. Well, number one, I know some people won't like this, but you could probably tell AI to make you a badass Luke Skywalker movie right then and there. I'd like to witness a Luke Skywalker adventure where this, that, second, and the third happens, uncertainty, danger, challenge, and then boom, it just creates it. And that will be a thing. But beyond that, when you go into a video game, okay, when you go into Fortnite, you load it up, you are curating that experience. Of course, there is still the confinements of whatever the digital space is, so the game engine, what they allow in the engine, et cetera, et cetera. But by and large, the level of customization and curation that happens in video games is so much greater than what is happening in movies and television right now. And I think that is actually a big part of why it is succeeding. And so therefore, IP, incredibly valuable, but actually not because of any one individual show, movie, or even story, ironically. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Chemical Mage with a 10 spot says, off topic, but what's the most important thing we need to see in Doomsday and Secret Wars before the reboot? The conclusion of Thor and Loki's story is high on my list. Oh man, that's an interesting one. What's something we really need? I would say that's probably true. I'd like to know more about what actually happened with the Sacred Timeline and He Who Remains and what the Prime Universe was like. I'd like to know more about that. Yeah, maybe, maybe Vormir. What exactly is Vormir? Why does the Soul Stone have a special place amongst the Infinity Stones? What's the deal with that? We never really got that explained. So I'd like to know what that's about. Hype for Visions 3, leaks for any Star Wars games. I'm excited for Visions 3. I think it comes out in just a couple of days, right? I'm excited for that. I'm going to check it out. Am I excited for any coming Star Wars games? No, not really. I mean, Eclipse is cool. I don't have any idea when that's going to come out. But Eclipse seems cool. Yeah. Make a video about it? What? That one panel where you have the Ultimates and 616 fighting all with Miles and Iron Man at the front. That is pretty sick, yeah. Josh, did you see the rumor going around that Doom might be in Brand New Day? Can you link me that? I did hear about it, but I'm not 100% sure what's the dealio with that. What's the dealio? What's the deal? Okay. Can we talk about anime now? Can we talk a little bit about anime? Any other thoughts on Ellison, DC, Warner Brothers? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's actually not that crazy, right? Like, I don't think it's that crazy to talk about this. Oh, I guess I'll add one little thing here. I didn't bring this up. I probably should have. So, the guy for Skydance that was developing all of those shows, Taylor Sheridan, he just left and signed a massive deal with NBC Universal. And I'll say this, I think this is very interesting because number one, it's like, dude, Paramount was really bolstering all the content that this guy created and his involvement. Ellison actually said, I think on one, like CNBC or something, he literally said something to the effect of like, I'd like him to have Paramount as his home for his career. So anyway, he left. And it's an interesting thing because he was apparently going around shopping himself around to a lot of different networks and stuff. And the reason he's so valuable is because Hollywood is going in a conservative direction. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, Hollywood is literally going in a middle America, conservative, moderate direction. That's what they're doing. So it's interesting that a guy like Sheridan is such a hot item right now. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens with NBC Universal and how they sort of view the suite of content that he'll make. You know, a little bit of a loss for Paramount for sure, but they have all of the shows. They have Landman. They're going to have all his shows that he created with them. So yeah, kind of an interesting little addition to that story for sure. All right, let's talk about anime, man. We gotta talk about anime. Hey, by the way, chat, how many of you went and saw the Chainsaw Man movie this last weekend? How many of you guys saw it, man? Throw a 1 into the chat. How many of y'all saw that shit? Wow, not a lot of you guys saw it. Okay, all right. Oh, okay, so a couple people saw it. Okay. Oh, you haven't caught up on the anime? Okay, so let's talk about this. Pretty freaking crazy anime #1 again. Chainsaw Man, the latest offering from Sony's Crunchyroll, was #1 at the box office with 17.2 million over the weekend. It's the second consecutive success for Crunchyroll following September sleeper hit Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle, which is literally at like $670 million right now, guys. This is crazy. Like, so anyway, Chainsaw Man. First, let me just gush about the movie a little bit and just kind of explain what the deal is. You know, we had some people here that are like, don't know shit about anime, and they're probably like, what is the deal with this motherfucker with the chainsaws in his head? What is a chainsaw man? Like, what is this? It's actually one of my favorite mangakas. He's like the comic book writer, essentially, of all of these different series. He's known as an edgelord. He's known as, very flagrant. He's almost like a James Gunn, frankly. I love his sensibilities, man. I love his sensibilities. I actually think he does heart and humor better than action, actually. But of course, like, you need your action, and then he takes it to action-y points and stuff. But for me, I really like his sensibilities. And this was like a coming of age, almost like a tragedy love story kind of a thing. So honestly, even if you don't know shit about Chainsaw Man, I'd recommend seeing this movie. It is genuinely great. And the story's great. It tears at your heart. The ending is crazy, and you're like, oh shit. It's really funny. It's romantic. Chainsaw Man's great. And so basically, what is Chainsaw Man? I'll TLDR you. So it's in a world where there are demons, and there are demon hunters, monster hunters, and essentially, it works a little bit like if you've ever read American Gods by Neil Gaiman. It's one of those things where the gods get more powerful the more people that worship them. So certain gods lose a lot of power because nobody really even knows about them anymore, whereas some of the more recent gods have a lot of power because a lot of people worship them. So it's the same thing in Demon Slayer, or in Chainsaw Man, except that it's how many people are afraid of a thing. So it's like how many ever people are like really afraid of a thing gives a demon power. Okay, now there's something going on with the Chainsaw Man because there's a different thing there. There's this little Pochito, little monster toy demon thing, and there's a big mystery around his abilities because he's a very powerful demon, except like, who's really afraid of chainsaws? It seems weird, right? So anyway, that's like the TLDR of the anime and the manga. And this guy's pretty well known. He's blown up. Chainsaw Man's maybe his most successful thing. And so this is a movie that takes one of the later arcs and made it into like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie and put it out there. So it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. 17.2 million over the weekend, #1 in the overall box office. This is insane. This is fucking insane, dude. Like, what does Hollywood think is going on? Like, what does Hollywood think is going on? This is so crazy to me. So we literally just talked about, guys, how Peacemaker, Gen V, and Alien Earth, all of those shows do not make the Nielsen top 10 chart for streaming. Okay, Gen V made it its first week when it had 3 episodes, and then it drops out. Peacemaker never made it. This was the episode that it might have made it, though, because it was like the 6 episodes of very big reveals. Still not on the chart. Alien Earth, I don't know if it actually charted. I wasn't following that one as closely, but I know it just never got there. People just didn't fuck with the show as maybe I thought they should, because I really like Alien Earth. I haven't watched Gen V or Peacemaker. But the point is this. We're at a point where, like, genre stuff is really faltering in the U.S. I mean, the Demon Slayer movie beat every comic book movie that was released this year. And the profitability on that thing, like, I got to see what the actual numbers are when it's all said and done. But Forbes just ran an article last week that said that The Force Awakens is the most profitable movie of all time. Or one of, I think they did frame it as the most profitable movie of all time because it made over $500 million. Well, like, unless I'm fucking crazy here, the Demon Slayer movie made $670 million. Its literal budget all day for production and marketing was said to be less than $30 million. And even if they don't get all of it back from distributors, doesn't that make Demon Slayer one of the most profitable movies of all time? Like, am I crazy? I don't know if that's actually going to play out. We'll see. But, like, that's kind of where I'm taking this conversation. That's what I'm thinking about. Is like, oh my God, Hollywood is fucked, dude. Like, this is crazy. So, once again, you have an anime movie in Demon Slayer, #1 of the box office. Now, here's the thing. This one's going to fall off pretty hard. It's going to lose all its premium screens. And it certainly does not have the same cachet as Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is like the Marvel of this genre. This is more like maybe a Gen V or The Boys or something, right? Chainsaw Man. But it's still insane. I mean, it's literally not even one of the biggest animes out there. I don't even think like a lot of people knew about this thing. That's another thing. The marketing budgets of these are so small because anime fans are so hardcore. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Just let them know when it's coming out. And the weebs will show up. Dude, our theater was packed. Our theater was packed. People were dressing up. I haven't seen people dress up for an American movie in fucking forever. So there's something happening. And, we've spoken to it a lot. Anime, definitely on the rise. I think it really is just more to do with Hollywood fumbling the, I guess, monopoly they had on all this entertainment. They really fumbled so hard over the past 5 to 10 years. And now we're seeing stuff like this happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, that's the deal there. With Chainsaw Man coming in again at #1. Couldn't be worse for Hollywood, I frankly think. So, there's that. Would love to know your thoughts about this. What do you guys think? Van Off the Black says, anime has never changed its stripes. It's always kept its appeal, edgy, and style. We can't say the same thing about U.S. modern media. So it's not the same. Well, I would actually disagree with that a little bit because anime is so much more than any one particular genre. It's actually a medium. Now, there are a lot of tropes that seemingly come into the medium themselves, right? But not all anime does them, So anime, for instance, has like a lot of slice of life. Anime has a lot of romance. Anime has a lot of comedy. Anime has shonen. Anime has edgelord content. Yeah, so I don't know that I actually agree that it's all edge and style, but I do agree with your point about it not changing itself. Meaning, like, anime as a medium and all the tropes and the things that are a part of it, it was never ashamed of that. It never tried to grow out of it. It never tried to mature past it. Maybe that's what you're kind of getting at, right? Is like, Hollywood deadass said, hey, all the stuff we were doing, we're not sure we should have been doing. Maybe we were being problematic. And also, maybe it's our responsibility to right some of the wrongs, to help some of these injustices, to, you know what I mean? Anime is just not at all thinking that. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. By the way, a little bit of that, and this Americans, you guys, dude, Americans are so twisted up, man. Y'all really just need culture. Because the truth about Japanese culture is they're just fucking polite. They don't talk about politics and shit, not because like they're all super based and they're all like, you know what I mean? That's not it. They're actually just fucking polite. Right? They don't want to put it in your face. They don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's actually faux pas. Like, it is considered uncouth to, like, make that a thing. And Americans are so twisted up that they're like, I mean, I've heard all kinds of explanations. I remember I one time got in an argument with an American comic book writer that I really fucking respect about this. And he was like, anime's all nationalized. And they're all, like, he made this, like, really weird generalization about anime. And he's like, well, American comics will never be able to compete with that because anime's subsidized, nationalized, and therefore, like, this, that, second, and the third. Everybody just has all these weird, that's not what it is. Like, that's not what's going on. So, yeah. We have a countdown version. It gets long, but it's worth it. I don't know what that means. Anime is like movies and shows. It's not a specific genre. Yeah, for sure. Star Wars needs an anime movie. That would be so dope. Yeah, it would be good. Dude, you know what they should do? They should get Tarkovsky. Get Grendy. Do a whole ass Tarkovsky animated Star Wars movie. That'd be sick. They don't bring dishonor to the family. Yeah, fair. Anime sticks to what works. Sex and violins. What? I think a lot of manga readers will agree with me that Chainsaw Man should have ended at part 1. Part 2 is a big fumble, in my opinion. Yeah, I think there is that sort of consensus in at least a part of the fandom. For sure. I've seen it. What about all the anime that references Nagasaki and Hiroshima? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, I think Nagasaki and Hiroshima is obviously like one of the most impactful things that ever happened to Japan. And so, like, one of my a lot of media in general from Japan deals with this idea. Akira does, and it's brilliant. I love how Akira deals with that. And yeah, so a lot of it is sort of dealing with that. And there's like an emasculation that happens. The Japanese, there's a lot of psychology that goes into these different iterations, you know, and like, I think that's fair, but they're not. It's not like they're all like that, though. Can you explain what would happen if Hollywood actually collapses and get discontinued specifically for America? Well, so I obviously don't know. I think a lot of people don't know, but I can speculate. So I think it would look like Hollywood, but decentralized, meaning I think you're going to get big studios in Texas, which I think McConaughey's already doing, right? Isn't this already happening? Isn't there like a massive fucking studio going on? And then like you look at Tyler Perry, what he did in Atlanta, which is not actually going that well, because a lot of Hollywood's like pulling out. But like, you basically would just have like 4 or 5 little Hollywoods, probably 4 or 5 little Hollywoods, different parts of the country. Different ideas, concepts. Yeah, that's what it would look like to me. That's my speculation. Angel Studios making big moves too. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. There's some stuff starting to film in North Carolina now. Wow, interesting. It's going well for Tyler Perry. Hey, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong about that. London is the new Hollywood. London's getting a lot of stuff going on right now, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, New York City, Toronto, Chicago could have a scene. Hell, Pittsburgh used to have a thriving movie scene. Romero made Night of the Living Dead in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a pretty, I mean, Joe Manganiello's from Pittsburgh. What's his face? A lot of Pittsburgh boys and gals. Would they all move back? I don't know. Jeff Goldblum. Ohio has been pretty steadily growing. Bro, what if we literally had movies shooting out of all 50 states? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that that's even viable, but like that, I don't give a fuck about Hollywood. I don't. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not even, like, I don't know. I just don't. I just don't. And I don't think it all needs to be funneled through that one city. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see why all the entertainment being produced in America that's you know, like our biggest export might be culture. I don't see why it all needs to go through that town. I don't see why. They're not going to go back to Pittsburgh. Yeah, probably not. You're probably not wrong. Filoni is from Pitt. Yeah, that's true. Crazy, but I envisioned the possibility no more movies releasing on global market stage for promotion going forward. Oh, dude, no. And also, too, like, let's not forget, movies aren't even maybe the future, right? We'll see. New York City stinks. Yeah, it often does smell bad, yeah. The president of Tyler Perry Studio crashed his plane in front of where I used to work. What? No way. That doesn't seem good. That doesn't seem good. Yo, season 3 of One Punch Man has been mid. I know. It's a huge topic out there. That's a huge topic out there, man. Whew. Did we talk about the Halo stuff yet? No, but I could briefly touch on it. I'm not buying that shit. Yeah, I was pretty underwhelmed. I think Halo's still just fucked until... Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you excited for the remake? You all excited? I think it's terrible. I think it looks terrible. No multiplayer. Not a fan. Not a fan. Hot take. Most anime is mid. Wow, that is a hot take. Donnie Snook says, Josh, what was the name of that pizza shop we went to for the meetup in Hoboken? It was fire. I want to go back there next time I'm in New York City. Nerd Ventures for life. I don't know, man. If some of y'all remember what it was called. I mean, I think Ryan still works there. I think Ryan still works there, so maybe he'll let us know. The lead writer for the new unannounced Halo is the lead of Dragon Age Veilguard? That sounds terrible. Ibze says, could it be Iger was shut down Feige's Star Wars movie? I believe so, yeah. I believe so. Bunch of rude assholes. Who's the rude assholes? I don't understand. Talking about New York? Josh got too litty that night. I feel like I got just the right amount of litty. Yo, you heard they're releasing the first trailer for Doomsday and brand new day in theaters when Avatar Fire and Ash comes out. There's some rumors about that. I don't know if it's real. That'd be cool, though. That'd be real cool. Yo, speaking of real cool, guys, let me show you something. Let me show you this. Do you know what this is? Anybody? Anybody know what this is? So, this is actually pretty crazy, and Eckhart's Ladder has actually been talking about this for a couple of months, I think. And it's real and it's pretty crazy. So, Star Wars theatrical OT leaked restoration screenshots. Okay, so basically, guys, they took the original version of Star Wars, like the original edits and the reels and all of that, and they've done a 4K restoration. Now, this is not the special editions. What this is, and I've heard a little bit about what the process is here. It seems insane, but they're actually using probably like AI and machine learning, and they're going in and they're grabbing up all this data from the original prints, and they're rebuilding a 4K restored version of the original, like what was actually on the screen when you went into the theaters when Star Wars was released, okay, 50 years ago. And so this is a huge project that Lucasfilm and them have undertaken, and they're restoring it. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The rumors are the fidelity, because if you go watch A New Hope on Disney Plus right now on like OLED and like 4K, it's actually pretty fucking phenomenal. The restoration is great. It's actually really good. But this is said to be even better. This is said to blow that out of the water. And so this will be a 4K crystal clear restoration of the original versions of Star Wars, the OT, and they are said to come out, I believe it's just the first movie, actually, I'm not 100% sure, but they're said to come out for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, which I believe is in 2027. And there's a lot of stuff that leaked about this. Okay, so here's what it says. As some of you may be aware, a few months ago it was leaked that Disney is restoring the theatrical cuts of the OT. Basically, a malfunctioning automatic upload script resulted in clips of an official restoration of the theatrical cut being publicly uploaded to YouTube. To my knowledge, the clips were meant to be saved to an unlisted playlist as a fallback for their internal file sharing system. But an error in the script made it so the videos were posted to a publicly viewable playlist, which meant anybody could view/download them. My friend sent me a copy of the leaks back in July, which consisted of some clips of all three films. Oh, that's great. As well as internal documents. The clips blow the 4K Ultimate HD Disney Plus version out of the water in terms of both detail and color. If you compare these screenshots to a project like 4K77 or Despecialized, you can see that the YouTube clips have fine detail simply not available to fan projects. And that's with YouTube compression. The cropping and the damage is also quite different, which shows that these are not just doctored images from pre-existing fan projects. They're taken from higher quality sources. Holy shit. I can't wait. I think this is the coolest, most exciting shit that Star Wars has going on right now. You know? I absolutely loved. In fact, I would go as far as to say my favorite experience in the theaters this year was watching Revenge of the Sith. Dead ass. So, I can't wait for this. And I'll probably go check it out on a premium screen. You know what's funny? I don't travel to watch Marvel movies anymore. I just don't. But I've been traveling to watch anime on premium screens. I've literally been driving many hours to go to a premium screen to enjoy my anime. And I'm going to do that shit for this. I am absolutely going to do that for this. I'm going to go find a premium screen, the best, brightest, biggest screen I can find. 70 millimeter, if I can find it. And experience Star Wars the way it was originally done. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be really cool. Yeah, hours. I drove hours, Lou. 4 hours all day. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. Yeah. What do you guys think of this, man? Chat. What are your thoughts? Are we excited? Restoring Star Wars! Do you think they'll reboot the original Dragon Ball series for the 30th anniversary? That would be kind of lit, yeah. Are there no theaters near you? There are no theaters near me that have true premium screens, unfortunately. February 14th says, life has been hard on us One Punch fans. The lesson Hollywood should learn from anime is lower your budgets. 17 mil is nothing to a 400 mil budget. Yeah. Yep, I think that's probably true. I know One Punch fans are going through it. I mean, I haven't even checked out the new episodes. That's how negative I've seen the reactions and stuff. So I haven't watched them. And it's a shame because holy shit, it was so good. So, yeah, sorry. Josh, I'm a One Piece fan. Do you have any news on the big announcement tomorrow? No, I haven't heard anything about it. I didn't even know there was a big announcement tomorrow. My wife probably knows about that more than I do. Does Compass Entertainment have premium screens? I don't know what that means. Do you think the final season of My Hero Academia it's going to be peak? I don't know. People are saying it's actually probably going to be pretty good. Yeah. Old Star Wars saving new Star Wars. 100%, yeah. One Punch Man is kind of boring right now. No, say it ain't so. I have the OT on VHS. So fun to watch on a CRTV. Yeah. I can believe it. You know what I was thinking about the other day? This is a small tangent. I've never done tangents before. You know what I mean? I'm not known for my tangents, but let me do one real quick. I was thinking about this the other day, man. I remember I was living in Minneapolis, and it was right as like plasma TVs were becoming a thing, and like HD TVs, literally like HD TVs were like the new thing. Okay, and so I wanted to get an HD TV for my Xbox 360. And so I went to oh, look at that. I went to Best Buy, and you know what they had? They had an HD tube television. I swear to God, I didn't even know this was a thing, and it probably didn't last long. It was probably only there for a little bit, okay? But it was 1080p, but it was tubes. And you know what the guy said to me? He said, this actually has a better visual fidelity than a lot of the actual HD plasmas right now. And he like explained it to me, and he was like, they're heavy as fuck, super expensive to make. They never caught on because everybody wanted a flat screen. But he was seriously like, it was huge, dude. It was like this wide. It was like this big. It was heavy as fuck. But it was an HD tube television. Isn't that crazy? Guess what? He lied. No. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. It was HD. The restaurant from the meetup is Urban Coal House in Hoboken. Okay, thanks, Chris. Hell yeah. One Punch Man or one PNG Man? Okay. Is the animation that bad? Den of Tubes. I had a flat tube HDTV back in the day. I only did like 720 when the standard was, oh, wow, really? That's interesting. I always thought to myself, because tech has done that before, like, so MP3s are technically trash. Like, you lose so much quality with an MP3 because of compression, but it was so convenient for MP3 players and, you know, internet music that everybody just kind of like accepted that, right? And I'm like, yo, I wonder if that happened with the HD tube TVs, where technically the tube TV in HD would literally be better. But everybody was just like, no, we want the convenience. We want the flat screen. We want to hang it on a wall. You know, it looks so cool. Josh casually bringing out his desire for Star Wars to come back and get out of Disney's hands. Yes. First time I've made it to one of your live streams, Josh. I want to say I love your content. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Red Room Gaming says, I've seen a few articles floating up about Spider-Man not being in IMAX. Any truth in that? Like, why wouldn't it be? It's because of Nolan. It's because of the Odyssey. I believe they released very close, and I think Nolan has locked up a massive amount of IMAX screens. So I think that's currently what's going on, yeah. Records still sound better than any tech out of there. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, I like the sound of a record. I always thought the appeal of a record player was, though, that it technically sounded a little bit different every time because the needle hits the groove just slightly differently, so it just sounds a little bit different. But I suppose it wouldn't be compressed, so yeah, maybe it's a more full body sound. Waited for years for the new season of One Punch Man just for the animation to look like Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, that shit sucks. You know what's funny about that, though? Can I make a point about this? This is another Japanese thing, okay? And again, I really think it behooves us to at least understand these cultures. Because the Dragon Ball Super thing, and you're talking about One Punch Man, I don't know if we realize, because I found out back in the day with the Dragon Ball Super thing, in Japan, they don't care that a thing is completely polished when it goes to air. Meaning, it's actually pretty common for anime to go on the network on a week-to-week basis, and then much later, it's improved. Okay? So when Dragon Ball Super, because it's all about episode 5, that Goku was ridiculous. And it was so bad that Toriyama actually commented on it, which is like, okay, so they really fucked up. Like, they really fucked up because I actually am saying that Japan doesn't care as much for Toriyama to come out and say something is crazy. But of course, Toriyama Anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole. The point I'm trying to make is it's possible One Punch Man is the same way, where they're like, yeah, this is placeholder. Like, we want the story, and we'll watch it later when it's like, they just don't think of it the same way that we do. Yeah. And that's just what it is. I want a finished product. I know, but that's an American thing. Like, that's an American thing, dude. It's just not the same there. Bro, the trailer of OPM had the Garo fight in episode 3 was leagues better than what the episode had. Yeah, but again, that's probably a different studio. And by the way, that other studio might be the one that does the final animations for when it comes out on Blu-ray for North American audiences or whatever. Yeah, you don't have to like it. I'm just saying it's a thing. It's a thing. How would you feel if Paramount bought Star Wars if sold? I mean, I'd be into it, yeah. I'd be into it. Okay, anyway, let's move on. We talked about the Star Wars thing. A couple other things I want to talk about here, and then we'll call it a stream. And then I gotta go figure out how to fix my camera. I gotta figure out how to fix my fucking camera. Goddamn, it's a goddamn frame rate. It's a fucking frame rate. It's a frame rate. I have a fuck shit. Yo, check this out. I think this is kind of wild. Okay, Stranger Things 2-hour series finale will play in movie theaters. What? The 2-hour series finale for Stranger Things will get a theatrical release after all. The climactic episode titled "The Right Side Up" will premiere on Netflix and in more than 350 movie theaters on December 31st, starting at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. ET, playing through January 1st. Dude, I think I'm going to go see this thing. This appears to mark the first time an episode of Netflix series will go to be exhibited theatrically. Details on the precise theaters will be announced at a later date, according to the announcements from Netflix. In a recent Variety cover story about making the show's final season, Stranger Things creators Matt and Ross Duffer expressed interest in having the feature-length series finale simultaneously premiere in theaters when it drops on the streamer on New Year's Eve. Yeah, so if you didn't know, all of the season drops, I think, either early December or mid, and then the final episode drops on New Year's. So you can see it early, I guess, technically, if you go to the movie theater, and then it's going to drop at, I think, midnight New Year's. Pretty cool. People don't get to experience how much time and effort is spent on sound and picture, and they're seeing it in a reduced quality, Matt said. More than that, it's about experiencing it at the same time with fans. Yeah, that's true. That would be amazing, Ross said, because the fans could be there with other fans and experience it as a communal thing. It would be incredible. While one of Netflix's bedrock tenets has been putting its original content on the streaming platform rather than into theaters, the company has exhibited its feature films theatrically on a case-by-case basis. Greta Gerwig negotiated an IMAX release for the company for Narnia, which is coming out next year. Netflix's award contenders this year, Frankenstein, Jay Kelly, and The House of Dynamite, debut in a small number of theaters to get Oscar qualifying metrics. Often a few weeks before premiering on Netflix. After its blockbuster summer performer, K-pop Demon Hunter led the box office for a special single. I guess that means anime won 3 times then, huh? Announced blah, 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 blah. The company announced October 15th that it will return to theaters, including 3 major chains, AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, over Halloween weekend. When interviewed in September for the cover, however, Netflix chief content officer Bilal Bajiria initially waved off the idea of placing Stranger Things finale into theaters. A lot of people have watched Stranger Things on Netflix, she said. It would not suffer from lack of conversation or community or sharing fandom. I think releasing it on Netflix is giving the fans what they want. Yeah, this is pretty interesting, man. After Variety cover story published, the show's fans expressed great interest on social media around the idea of a theatrical release. And a Variety Instagram post with 40,000 likes and counting, fans made comments such as, "Damn, missed opportunity for Netflix to make some more money. In a theater would have been a massive event where people would dress up like Barbie. Netflix is wrong. Our industry needs more entertainment in theater culture. In this case, it appears that people of the upside down have gotten their wish." Wow, fascinating. In addition to this, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this, but in addition to this, I find it so interesting that Netflix is cozying up with AMC at the same time. They're building out more theaters, more Netflix theaters at the same time. This is really interesting. And it's wild because the reporting went so far as to suggest that it actually wasn't a money thing, that took these guys to Paramount. Because I believe they just signed a big deal with Paramount, right? The Duffer Brothers? Let's look that up. Maybe it's not Paramount. Where did the Duffer Brothers sign their big deal, right? Is it Universal? Let's see here. I thought it was Paramount. Paramount, 4-year exclusive. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Paramount's making moves. So check this out. It was reported that it actually wasn't money that made them go with Paramount. Instead, it was this. It was the theatrical. That the Duffer Brothers were so obsessed with getting stuff into theaters. They want to put movies in theaters. They want to do stuff in theaters. That they left and went to Paramount despite Netflix offering more money. Okay. Now, but this is why I really like Netflix as a company. They have a crazy culture, very cutthroat. It has been that way for a long, long time. But that is why they're the giant that they are. That's why they're the Coca-Cola of streaming. Okay. And so the culture there is very cutthroat. It's very results-based. It's merit-based, right? And so I find it so interesting that that company would literally allow the Duffers to go away with the hang up on this, and then a couple of weeks later, maybe months later, actually just go back on the decision. Like literally give what they wanted, like the Duffers wanted. And it shows this thing where, like, I think Netflix is smart enough to realize that despite being the Coca-Cola of streaming, it is still important that they give customers what they want. And that situations like this and moments like this, they're willing to kind of bend, even break the rules, perhaps even figure out hybrid models and really do some really interesting stuff, because Netflix is a tech company overall. And I think this potential relationship between AMC and Netflix is really interesting because of how the CEO of AMC thinks about tech and the future. So this is a fascinating moment. You know, we've been talking a lot about Hollywood, and we've been talking a lot about the decline. We've been talking a lot about changing industry, anime coming into the scene. All these different things are going on. Netflix is in a really interesting position. And so I find this to be pretty wild. I'm, on the one hand, excited because I do want to go see this in theaters, actually. But on the other hand, I'm kind of starting to think like, oh, man. Like, what if this becomes the model? Because remember, you know, Henry Cavill wants to follow this model. The Game of Thrones guys want to do this model. George R.R. Martin wants to do this model. There are a lot. I mean, Mando and Grogu is about to do really badly with this model, but they are obviously interested in the model as well. So could we see something happening where streaming shows into consolidated movies or event episodes becomes a thing? What is the future of that? What does that look like? Could it inject much needed capital into that system? Is it for distributors or is it for Hollywood? Because again, I think Hollywood's going to get broken up. But the distributors are still there. The theaters are still there. Maybe Netflix needs to realize that they could sort of take over in a way that maybe they hadn't anticipated before. And there could be benefits on the business side, the brick and mortar side, of carving out some incredible deals with distributors, producers, and maybe even up and coming studios. And then you do some distribution theatrically. Like you kind of turn that up, dial that up a little bit. I don't know. It could be really interesting. What do you guys think of this? Rossi says, Taylor Sheridan leaving Paramount to go to Universal, creator of Ellison. I think that's what you might have gotten mixed up on. I believe I said that. Yeah. It's not going to work. Oh, no. You don't think so? Yo, Josh, how about Keanu and the director of Constantine saying they've agreed on a script, the sequel? Yeah. I mean, Gunn's just not going to let that go. I mean, I don't think James is going to make the Constantine thing. No. Disney will break down on its own. Oh, no. Oh, no, Disney. When has this worked? Well, I mean, I think that's kind of I think that's a bad question, you know, because you could ask of like Hollywood stuff, when has this worked? And you could say like literally until about 3 or 4 years ago, it worked constantly. Like it was actually working pretty good. The industry has changed. So it's possible that what has worked in the past will no longer work as well. And it's possible that stuff that wouldn't have worked in the past can work now. You know? Joshua Campbell says, are you going to talk about the leak that would confirm your theory about Tony Stark being a Doom variant? Yeah, so I have a big video about that. I thought it was going to come out today. A miscommunication with my editor. It's going to come out tomorrow. So trust me, Josh. Big video about that. Yeah, it'll drop probably early tomorrow. Going from streaming to screens. When has it worked? I mean, define works. Like, I don't know what you mean by that. Succeeded is a better word. And it's like, what is the metric of success there? What does that mean? Now, Mando and Grogu is different because that one we're going to be able to see pretty well because it has a budget. It literally is kind of using the show as the gateway in. So that one we're going to know. We're going to be like, oh, this failed. Like this flopped as a movie. But with Stranger Things, we're probably actually not going to know because this is just a cherry on top. They don't even need to do this. So I kind of think that's a fucking success. They lose nothing. They gain cachet. They gain revenue, and they gain relationships with theaters and distributors, right? So define work, define success, and this industry is changing. That's the whole, like, that's the elephant in the room. It's like, we're not even talking about the same shit anymore. So these terms need defined more explicitly. Imagine free entry to a theater for a Netflix subscription only. What a thought. What an idea. Imagine being able to pull up the entire Netflix catalog on a giant ass premium screen. I don't know. It's interesting to me. I think it's actually a big deal because I was thinking like what the goal of this company, like Netflix is such, they're so gangster. They're so gangster. They're so gangster. They literally were like, we're not going to put this in theaters to the point that they lost the Duffer Brothers. And then they literally turn around and say, you know what? We will do that. Like, I feel like that's gangster shit. Like, because it also makes the other story feel less relevant. That story is going nowhere now. Nobody will ever actually now understand it. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but like the majority of people are not going to understand that because it's really hard to say like, oh, actually this was a big hang up and there was a big fight over this and this is why they left Netflix because they weren't going to put it in the movie theater and then it's in the movie theater. Do you know what I mean? So the nuance won't be there. People will just be like, yeah, that story that doesn't compute to me. So in a sense, they sort of buffer themselves from the Duffer damage by releasing it in theaters. Do you see what I mean? They're like taking a bad issue and getting something out of it. I just think it's gangster. I think it's really smart. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle, ladies and gentlemen. You understand here? Hey, what's going on on my Spotify? What the hell? What the hell? Why can't I play my fucking tunes here? Wow. The hell? You do not just hit us with a buffer the Duffer, bro. Take a nap. I will take a nap. Because I want to, not because you told me to, though. By the way, let's see if Theory messaged me back. Yeah, no Nerd Theory tonight, guys. I'll find out if we're going tomorrow. If not, we might just go next week. We're going to have the conversation. Don't worry. It's not like everybody's going to forget that maybe Bob Iger fucked over Kathleen Kennedy. We will have that conversation. Just relax. So stream tomorrow morning. I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe late night Warhammer. So probably not. I didn't cancel the stream. What's wrong with Theory? Nothing's wrong with Theory. He's just traveling, man. He's traveling. He had a huge weekend, guys. He had a huge weekend. I'm going to be honest with you. If he told me he was going to go tonight, I would have tried to talk him out of it. Because he needs to rest. You need to rest. You know, it's very important. Okay. Couple other things I want to talk about here, guys, and then we'll probably get on out of here. How long have we been streaming? Oh, about 2 hours? Okay. I just am pissed about the quality. I want to get out of here and work on the quality. Wait, what? LMA, by the way, I talked to my comic shop owner. If you need another Warhammer model plug, I got you. Oh, shit. Said he'd be able to ship it out. Oh, dude, awesome. There's some slight Warhammer news, too. What's the Warhammer news? I went into the Warhammer shop on Saturday. It was Warhammer Day. So if you spend $200 in the store, you got all these bonus things. I got them all. Had to. Wait, what's this? The fuck? Announcing the World Championship of Warhammer Preview Live? What? We're coming up at the end of the year. And so the World Champion Warhammer 40,000 grand narrative rapidly approaching, people from all over the world descending to Atlanta. Reason to be excited. Friday, November 7th, 7:30 live. Saturday, they'll be live. That's right. The last major Warhammer preview event of 2025 is coming in less than 2 weeks' time. And we've got some big reveals from a wide range of systems. That's the gaming systems. We'll be taking a closer look at the much-anticipated Warhammer Quest Dark Water. What the hell is that? Warhammer Quest Dark Water? I don't know what that is. Dude, is that the RPG? The Imperial Legion shit? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God. Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Horus Heresy, Legion Imperialis. Or is that just new 30K? No, because that's there. It's got to be it. They're finally going to talk about the RPG. Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry. I've been waiting for that one, man. Whew. Thank God I'm moving from Atlanta area this weekend. Are you really? That's interesting. Wow, the stream increased by 75 viewers by mentioning Warhammer. Hell yeah, let's go, Warhammer fans. You guys want me to go get all my cool Warhammer shit I got this weekend? Should I show you? Okay, I'll be right back. What? I tell you what I'll do. Let me double check something here. Okay, no problem. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. No Nerd Theory tomorrow night, but here's what I'll do. I'll make you guys a deal. Okay, I'll make my screen bigger. Hang on. I'll make you guys a deal. Okay? I'll spend tonight trying to figure out the camera. Okay? And then tomorrow, we'll do a gaming stream and we'll try to figure out some VR. We'll do some VR streaming tomorrow. Does that sound okay? Like, I don't know if I have the Deadpool game. I'll have to message the people and see. Because they said it was going to be preloaded, but I really don't know. But yeah, so we could do the Deadpool VR. And if that's not available, we could do the Batman VR tomorrow. I've heard Batman VR is fucking crazy. Like, I heard it's sick, dude. Yeah. So maybe we do... I mean, this just looks standard. I don't think this... Maybe it's in the box. Maybe the game's in the box. No, nothing in there. All right, anyway, let me show you the cool Warhammer stuff. Oh, no, what? Silver coin. Can you see it? It's got a Terminator on one side. Oh, you can't really see that shit, huh? Silver-plated coin. Terminator on one side. One of the Sigmar dudes on the back, but whatever. So you had to spend $200 to get all the shit. So I bought an Imperial Fist Combat Patrol, which I'm going to build up. Hey, you know what we could do? We could do a painting stream tomorrow. I could just build and paint Warhammer all day. What about that, chat? Tuesday, Warhammer painting, building stream. We could try to build this whole box tomorrow and paint it. And then give them away? Hell no. Intercessors, Company Heroes, Heavy Intercessor. Yeah, that's a good box, dude. They did me right in the shop. I was like looking around trying to find it, and there was like two dudes playing, and they were like, bro, like, you play Space Marines, right? I was like, yeah. They're like, get this box. And I was like, but I have a buddy that does YouTube. He's an Imperial Fist guy, so I can't. And they're like, you don't have to tell him. I was like, all right. So just don't tell Valrak. I almost just slipped up and told you guys something I should absolutely not tell you. Holy shit. That almost just came out of my mouth. Anyway, this fucking guy, this captain, the new captain model. Dude, this shit is sick. Ultramarine, but we won't hold it against him. Probably mod it. And then I got this. This is an ammo pouch, but it's really for like having your dice. So you can put it on your belt and look like you got a Space Marine ammo pouch, and you pull your dice out from there. Pretty cool. Oh, yo. Dude, look at this print. Okay, so that's on the one side. Pretty cool. But dude. Oh. That. Space Marine getting his having his armor put on. That's badass. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. So pretty cool. Just a little celebratory thing they did. On the first of the month, if you go in and spend $100, you get like a little collector coin. So occasionally I'll go do that. But this was like the 2025 Warhammer Day. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. Little silver coin. Josh, can you tell me as a Halo fan why I love Warhammer so much? You always talk about it, and it gives me a chance, but where to start? Well, you're a big Halo fan. I think the biggest connection between Warhammer and Halo, it's two things. One is the super soldiers. So obviously the Spartan program, Master Chief and all of them are super soldiers. They go through various augmentations and become, super soldiers. The other thing that's similar between, actually, I guess there's three things. This is wild. I didn't realize this, which Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Another one is ancient hidden technology. So in Warhammer, there was a golden age of humanity, but all of that's lost. And so they call it actually the dark age of technology or the long night. And there's technology from that time period that is actually way more advanced than anything we have in the modern day. That's the same thing with the Forerunners in Halo. So the Halo rings themselves are Forerunner technology, which is originally thought of as a portal. And we find out in the first game that they're bombs. That's the whole point. They're bombs designed to kill this threat known as the Flood. The Flood's like a zombie outbreak. And so I guess the Flood are a little bit, so there's some aliens that are similar to the Flood, like the Tyranids in Warhammer. So there's actually 3 big connections between Warhammer and Halo. Yeah. I've been thinking about getting into Warhammer. What game on the PS5 should I get into to get you into the story? I don't know what they have on PS5. Space Marine's good, 1 or 2. The Chaos Gate Demon games are dope as fuck. Rogue Trader was incredible. I played Space Hulk. It's fine. Space Hulk is, I mean, it's aged. It's a very old game. Yeah, Bolt Gun seems really fun, although I've never played it. So, yeah. Alien super soldiers in space. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Josh, I'm trying to get into Warhammer. What should I start with? Oh, my God. I'm so excited. Everybody's getting into Warhammer. Look, if you have a Warhammer store around you, check. Do you have a Warhammer store around you? Go into the Warhammer store, man. They're going to take good care of you. They train their people incredibly well. They're jovial. They're informed. They're personable. They're going to be able to guide you. They'll show you how to paint. They will literally sit you down and they'll paint a model with you right there in the store. And then you take the model home. So I would say try to find a Warhammer store. If there's not a Warhammer store, go watch some of the movies, Astartes, some of the animations, the Secret Level episode on Amazon Prime. Then I would probably jump into either books, audiobooks or real books, and then YouTube videos. The lore is so dense that you're going to need to hear this stuff many times before it fully processes. And frankly, like the thing that's crazy about Warhammer is there are people that are experts on like one individual part of the Warhammer lore because it is so big and it is so dense. I have never met a person that has deep knowledge of all of Warhammer. Can almost guarantee there's shit that people don't know about. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. You banned Tom? Can I undo it? I don't know how to do that. So you put him in timeout? If I time him out, is it a double timeout? Joshua says, what advice would you give me to avoid Warhammer? Stay inside. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your head down. He'll be back in 24 hours? Oh, okay. I timed him out because I was doing something else? Oh, okay. Oh, he's probably still watching, and so Adam fucked that up. You know what I mean? You're fine, Tom. You're all good, Tom Selleck. We like you. We like your stash, so you'll be back. The same. Why are you avoiding getting girls? Wait, what? The same way you avoid getting girls. Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just decide you don't like cool things. Is the core book a good idea? And is there a store in Atlanta close to Georgia? You're going to have to look where your location, but I'll tell you this. I think these two books are pretty good. Okay, so this is The Art of Warhammer. This you can find in a Warhammer store. This is The Ultimate Guide. This you find at Barnes & Nobles. It's a DK book. It's incredible, and it is like it's gonna take you through. It's got maps, it's got timelines, charts, all the factions, and everything. So like this is a pretty good one. Yeah. Darth Hoser says emotional damage. Oh my goodness. You got some emotional damage? Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go to the polls here. Because we're going to stream tomorrow. What should we do for tomorrow's stream? We'll do VR gaming, Warhammer, and then I guess regular stream? No, because you guys will just vote for that. Let's make it between VR gaming and Warhammer. Oh, you have to have 3 options? What? Why? What's happening here? Drugs? What should we do tomorrow's stream? Rivals? I don't even know if Rivals will work on this thing. Like, I don't know if I can... VR gaming. Or Hamber. And then I'll do combo. Combo stream. Combo stream where we do a bunch of stuff. We should make Josh watch Welcome to Derry. Definitely not going to happen. But apparently it's so good and people are enjoying it so much that Andy Muschietti, people might be okay with him doing Brave and the Bold. That's kind of what I'm hearing. I'm watching this narrative develop where people are like, yo, this is so good. Maybe The Flash ain't so bad or something, you know? Vendolph the Black. Appreciate you, brother, with a 10 spots. As I recommend the Elric series. Moorcock is the father of the dark fantasy genre, the multiverse, and the actual chaos system. The roots of Warhammer spawn from his work. So it's a must-read. Goated. Oh, wow. Elric, huh? Let me see. The TV show? Oh, it's a book series. The Elric Saga. $13 books. Looks cool. Looks pretty cool to me. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a look. We did it? What'd you do? Paramount fucked Halo into oblivion. I'll never forgive them for that. Yeah, they really did screw that one up. Not gonna lie. Now I get why he loves Warhammer. I mean, it's pretty dope, dude. It's pretty dope. More Cox Den? Hey, don't say that. Hey, don't say that over here. What if Paramount just brings both Henry Cavill and keep David Cornswell at the same while not resetting or rebooting or stop at all? I mean, that would be the wildest thing I've ever... that would be so wild, man. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But, yeah. More what? Hey, don't say that. Hey, don't say that. What's a poll looking like? What the hell? VR gaming winning, but ever so slightly. Wow, it's pretty even, huh? I mean, I'd love to just like wake up early tomorrow, flip the stream on, and we're like, let's see if we can get all these models built and painted by the end of the day. We could get my airbrush system working. I've got these pencils, these like for weathering pencils that I never used. I got so much cool shit. I haven't painted in like a month. I haven't painted anything. I went into the Warhammer store. The guy's like, how's the hobbying going? And I was like, bro, been busy. Watch party for Star Wars Visions on Wednesday. Yeah, right. Wait, is it actually drop Wednesday? But it's probably late at night, huh? When does it drop? I'm not talking about Warhammer painting. I'm talking about body painting. Yeah, there's some people that do that. October 29th. So it would be Wednesday. Dude, I'd be down for the Nerdvenger stream. Should we do a watch party for Visions? Nerdvenger stream, watch party, Wednesday night, Visions? The timing's pretty good on that. I'd be down. Let's do it. Let's do it. Trigger Studios again. Production IG. I like Studio Trigger a lot. Yeah, let's do it. Do it. With Palpatine voice. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So it's looking like no nerd theory this week, guys. It's fine. We will have this conversation about Kathleen Kennedy. You know what I mean? We'll have it next week. I'll do a stream tomorrow, and we'll just paint Warhammer all day, since that won the poll. And then Wednesday, we'll do a regular stream in the morning, probably get into some news. You know, maybe we'll have something else going on. And then Wednesday night, we'll do a watch party for Visions. Sound pretty good, huh? Just give me credit for the excellent idea. Okay, I will, Ross. Ross, I will. The watch parties are a bit cursed, aren't they? Yes, okay, I see the VR gaming. I see VR gaming is winning. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll do it all. Yes, VR game. Yes. Marvel Rival Zombies could be fun, though. Yeah, we'll just make it a casual day tomorrow. We'll just make it a casual stream. Yeah, Caleb, that data is out there, although it jumped back up after this new mode. The PvE mode, a lot of people really liked, so. Which is a good sign. Pretty good sign. Pretty good sign there, you know what I'm saying? Pretty good sign. What's your over-under for Ahsoka 2 being good or bad? I think it has an over 75% chance of being good. Under 25% chance that it's bad. It's my take. Because, like, especially after the Bob Iger shit, I'm starting to think, like, did he fuck up that finale? You know, like, I'm literally... You know how we all just blamed KK for everything? I'm going to just do that with Bob Iger now. I'm literally just pivoting. It's him. Deadass. I'm gonna literally do everything that I've been doing. Every single time I feel like blaming Kathy, I'm gonna blame Bob. So Bob Iger, until he's gone, I don't know that I can feel confident about anything coming out of that studio. Do we know how many episodes are in Ahsoka season 2? No, we don't. It's probably either 6 or 8 though. Probably 8. But I don't know. All right, guys. Probably going to get on out of here. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you for being here. Clips will drop later. Big video dropping tomorrow. No nerd theory tonight. no Nerd Theory this week, but we will do a casual makeup stream for you guys tomorrow, and then we'll be back to regular streams on Wednesday, okay? Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Who opens up Doomsday? Cap with Stones, Cap, Peggy, King Council, Doom 4, or Monica? Maybe Toby. What if it's Tobey? Okay, everybody. Much love, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for being here. Hopefully, I'll be able to figure out what's going on with the camera. Because it doesn't look bad. It's just the frame rate. So hopefully we can figure that out. Oh, you got some sauce? You got some sauce for me? Appreciate you, Daniel. Ha. All right, everybody. Much love, man. Appreciate you all. Y'all have a good day. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, man. Another happy landing. Thought that was a good stream. Despite the stupid ass frame rate and a stupid ass camera enraging me. Thought it was pretty good. Thought it was pretty chill. You know, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Oh, John Sparks just got here? That's too bad, bud. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And do me a couple favors. Just a couple on your way out. Number one, open up that third eye. And number two, wash out. You stinky, stinky butt.